Welcome in to another lesson. Today we're going to do Blue Devil's accent tap exercise. They've been doing this one for a number of years, but we're particularly looking at 2023, and it goes something like this. Now this exercise has got like a secret, a hidden formula. As soon as you know the secret, you're going to see exactly how it's done. Now the secret is what they do is they get a bit of an audible illusion going on. They start the exercise off by playing in 4/4, as in like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now they do 2 more bars of 4/4, which goes like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which gets the listener into that feel. And so everyone's nodding their head thinking it's in 4/4. All of a sudden what happens is from that point onwards, everything just goes into 7/8. Now there's variations of 7/8, which I'm going to teach you to do right now. But what happens is the drummers are thinking 7/8 and it's played in 4/4. Now eventually, once you've got this exercise down in the 7s, then you can start to play it along to a metronome where the metronome is actually keeping 4s. One of the things you'll notice with Blue Devils, there's normally a metronome going or someone just keeping the quarter note going all the way through. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get stuck straight in. So first line, like I said, we're playing 8 with the right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 with the left hand, and then this simple pattern of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and stop to whole line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right, next line. We start off with this 7/8 pattern. This 7/8 pattern starts with this. Now you can count to 7. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's quite hard to say. When you're playing drum kit, and you guys who learn drum kit, there's a 7/8 pattern that happens. What happens in drum kit is rather than thinking of numbers, often we think of tunes. So we get a pattern that might go gat, 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 which I'll put on the metronome now. And what we do is rather than counting 7s, we may count a 3 and then a 4, or a 3 and 2 2s. So I might go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easier for me to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. If we need a sentence, heard it, radio, heard it on the radio, heard it on the radio, heard it on the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's the part that we're going to play. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, left 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, left 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now with 7/8 we can flip that, right? So rather than the 3 being at the start, as in like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, we could go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's where that word, heard it on the radio, comes into its own because heard it on the radio, heard it on the radio. I'd probably change the drum kit part for that to something like this. What have we got here? Let's try this. Maybe that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or if I want less snares in there. Maybe that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Heard it on the radio. Heard it on the radio. Now what that's playing is irrelevant. The key is that you're changing the way you're thinking from feeling now to that but. Now there are some times when we play songs in 7/8 where people actually mark time in that way. Now. We're not going to do that, right? But it does happen, right? So the next 2 bars have got this in mind. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And just because it's kind of Blue Devils, we're going to throw in a little extra something in there. So we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So we've got this 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3 thrown at the end. So the second one of those two bars will go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Now the next note is a right hand of the next bar, so we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, bang. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, bang. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, bang. So those two bars, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, 1. Now the next line is easy because it is just what we just played minus the little something thrown in there. So we've just then got 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Twice with the right hand, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop. We'll do that with a metronome. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another little bit of information for you. So if you're ever counting to 7, right? 7 has got 2 syllables in it, right? Especially if you've got a certain accent, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. So just say sen instead, all right? S-E-N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sen. That'll keep you in time. Right, next line. What we do then, it's a little bit easier. We go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Heard it on the radio. Heard it on the radio. This is probably the easiest line in it. What about doing this one there? Let's play it. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Heard it on the radio. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Stop. Okay, at this point, we're going to start getting these nice little threes in there. Any of the threes in this exercise, unless I say otherwise, are going to be right down there, maybe 3 inches. This next bar then, we're in 7 still. We've got, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That's actually the same off the left. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 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 So we just do that back to back. 2 rights, 2 lefts. 2, 3, 4. Last time, 2, 3, 4. Next line. Now that line had one lot of a 3. This one's got 2 lots of 3, right? So we get, which is going to go 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Now, annoyingly, in this one, rather than playing it twice, like it kind of feels like it should, the second bar is a complete different bar. The second bar goes switching hands. So those two together will go. And it's the same off the left hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's the whole of that part. I will do that when the metronome. I'm going to slow it down a bit though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of you might need to work that part on its own. If you do, just pause the video, sit and practice that. The next one, so we did 1 of these, then we did 2 of these. Guess what's next? 3 of these, all right? We got 3 in a row. Again, this could be either way around, but let's say it goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Then we're into this part. The same again, but we go. We get some of those what I call drop threes. So drop threes are just where we're playing a 3 from say up here. We're not too bothered about them all being the same volume, so we get 3 different heights, all right? So that whole bar, whole section would go. And then we switch to the other hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. I'll do it again with the mat. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, some of you might need to slow this down, right? I had to, right? Most people will have to slow this down at some point to get used to these 7s. Right, this next part, ditty, original ditty. There's a bit in there where the bass drums play. This is kind of a take on that. So we get this part that goes. So if you look at the sticking pattern that we've got in there, we've got. Then we've got a. Now for me there, I'm not even counting. I'm not really counting like 1 E and 2 E and 3. I'm just hearing the tune. Now I'm missing one left hand at the end, and then the start of the next bar, which will give me. So if I loop those, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now what they've done this time, again, because it's blues levels, what they've done is they've dropped in at the end a little pattern where you get 3 lefts, then a right-handed rim shot, yeah, and then a double stop to end. So that's going to sit on. So we get the same tune twice, but the second time, bum, 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 played like that. Boom. Now this will work with a metronome, but it might be even more difficult. Let's try it and find out, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I messed that one up because I started thinking, do I need to teach them the end? So the end on every rep apart from the very last one is just, but what these guys do is actually on the very last rep of the whole exercise, they throw this in, which again is 1, 2, 3, which will be 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, stop, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, stop. So if you want to learn this exactly, that's what's going on. That is the exercise. So as I said, hopefully now some of you guys are like, now I get it. 7, 8, makes sense now, right? I get thrown off a little bit by some of the bass drums that are going on and the tenor parts that are going on because they're playing different parts to us. That's something you just got to get used to. If you're playing this with 9 snare drummers, you can hear those guys stood next to you. It's going to be a lot easier than when you're playing it along with the parts that we've got on this recording. So I'll have a go now at playing it slow, medium, fast for you. We'll do that with the metronome I've already set up with the bass drum pattern doing the 7s and the 8s. I'll give that a go and we'll see how we get on. Okay, let's have a go at the slow version. Bass drums will count you in. Here we go. 3, 4. Sevens. Switch. Okay, let's try that one more time. Exactly the same thing all the way through, nice and slow. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I had one little mistake in there, right? Ignore that little mistake. I think I recovered quick enough that you're going to get away with it anyway. Okay, here's medium tempo for you, all right? Now remember, as we start to speed up, keep the taps nice and low still, all right? Let's go for it. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. It's a nice tempo, that one. All right, we're going to do exactly the same again. Here we go. Okay, we're going to take it fast, jump straight on. pretty quick anyway. Right, same again, here we go. Remember last time? And that is as simple as that. Hopefully you guys can play it now. Don't be worried if you can't play it at the speed they're playing it. It's taken me at least a week to try and get used to this. I was struggling to get those little threes in there at the speed they're doing it. And it's going to probably mean that you guys are going to struggle as well, unless you're about to go out on tour or unless you're practicing like mad at the moment to get in those auditions. So if you're enjoying these lessons, as always, please subscribe. Please hit that notification button. Please leave me some comments. If you want to buy some merch, there's plenty of t-shirts, there's jackets, there's all sorts of stuff written on the front. Go look at that on the YouTube below. There's links there. I've got a couple of books. Go check those out. And I look forward to seeing you in another lesson. See you soon.